Imagine this. One moment you're standing in your room, the next you're light years away. No spaceship, no engines, no travel time. Just gone. This is the holy grail of science fiction, the stuff of Star Trek transporters, Marvel superheroes, and futuristic dreams, the power to vanish and reappear anywhere in the universe. But what if I told you it's not fiction anymore? Because somewhere in a lab hidden from the world, scientists just made something disappear and then reappear hundreds of miles away. It wasn't a trick. It wasn't a simulation. It was real. They didn't teleport a person. Not yet. But what they did might be the first crack in reality itself. For over a century, science fiction has shown us what teleportation might look like. A shimmer of blue light, a body disintegrating into particles, a whisper of sound, and then reassembled flawlessly somewhere else in the cosmos. Star Trek introduced the transporter, a platform that could dematerialize a human being and recompile them on a distant planet. In Marvel's universe, beings like Nightcrawler vanish in a puff of smoke, folding space like a crumpled map. In the neon-lit worlds of cyberpunk, teleportation is the currency of advanced civilizations, used by corporations, assassins, and AI gods alike. We watch these scenes in wonder, never asking how because we believed it was impossible, a fantasy, a dream. But here's the truth no one told us. Science fiction is often just science, waiting to be discovered. And that future is no longer waiting. It's already begun. In a sealed laboratory in Geneva, Switzerland, surrounded by shielding and silence, something historic took place in 1997. A beam of light, just a photon, was split. One half was kept. The other half was sent down a long fiber optic cable. And then something strange happened. When scientists measured the state of one photon, the other, instantly and across distance, responded. No time delay, no signal. It was as if the two particles were speaking in a language beyond space, or as if they were never truly separate to begin with. This is the realm of quantum entanglement, what Einstein once mocked as spooky action at a distance. Two particles, entangled, share a state so intimately that measuring one immediately determines the state of the other, no matter how far apart they are. Not seconds, not milliseconds, but instantaneously. It defies everything our classical brains understand. It's not sending a message through space. It's bypassing space entirely. Now imagine this. Instead of sending a photon, you encode it with data, its full quantum state, then destroy the original, and transmit that information to another particle elsewhere, which then becomes identical to the one that was lost. This is quantum teleportation. Not the teleportation of bodies or objects in the traditional sense, but the teleportation of identity, the essence of something, a digital ghost, reborn in another particle, as if reality itself can be copied, moved, and reconstructed. In 2017, China made headlines with something once thought impossible. Using the Mikyus satellite, they teleported the quantum state of a photon from Earth to space, over 500 kilometers away. They didn't send the particle itself, they sent its being. The photon on Earth ceased to exist as it was, and in orbit another photon became its perfect twin. Scientists didn't celebrate this as a stunt. They called it what it was, the birth of quantum communication. Suddenly, the idea of transmitting information, not through wires, not through airwaves, but through pure entanglement, was no longer theory. It was real, repeatable, measurable, undeniable. Let's pause for a moment. Think about what this means. In our world of physical limitations, where distance equals time and time equals effort, quantum teleportation breaks the rulebook. It says, I don't need to move through space. I don't need to wait. I am there, like flipping a switch that turns on a light not just in another room, but across the universe. Two particles, separated by miles or by planets, yet pulsing together like one heartbeat, reacting in perfect unity, as if they share a secret we haven't yet earned the right to understand. Scientists aren't just observing this, they're now building on it. Using teleportation to send quantum information, encrypt data beyond hacking, and test the boundaries of space-time. What was once a fantasy is now becoming infrastructure, the foundation of a future we can barely comprehend. But here's the part that most people don't know. The terrifying question beneath it all, a question that's been whispered in physics circles, behind closed lab doors, and in the most classified briefings. If we can teleport information, can we teleport life? You see, information is everything. You are not your body. You are a sequence of signals, memories, neurons, DNA. If all of that can be scanned, stored, and transmitted, what separates you from a photon? Is teleportation of the soul possible? Or is it the ultimate illusion, a perfect copy standing where you once were, while the original is erased? One day the machine will power on, not for a particle, not for a photon, but for you. You step forward, the steel glows cold, your breath fogs against the glass. Somewhere behind you, a scientist's voice crackles through a speaker. Stand by for biometric scan. This isn't a dream anymore. This is real. The question is no longer, can we teleport a human? But what happens if we do? Because teleporting a photon is impressive, but a photon isn't alive. It has no consciousness, no identity. It doesn't love, it doesn't fear. You are a universe of complexity. 37 trillion living cells, 200 different types, each working together in a symphony of function. Blood flows, lungs expand, neurons fire. Your body is a temple. But your brain? That's the miracle. Over 86 billion neurons entangled in a chaotic web of thought, memory, emotion. Trillions of connections firing at 250 miles per hour. That's where you live. To teleport a person, not just their atoms, but their self, we would have to scan everything. Every molecule, every neurotransmitter, every chemical signal and neural spark. And that scan would need to happen in a single moment, before anything changes, before a thought arises, before a memory fades. Then the machine must do the unthinkable, disassemble you, atom by atom, break you down into data. The original, you, must be destroyed. Because if the machine builds a perfect copy somewhere else, but the original remains, you're not one person anymore. You're two. And that's a problem. So here's how it's designed to work. You step into the teleporter. Your entire molecular structure is scanned. That data is sent, through light, quantum entanglement, or another unknown channel, to the destination. There, matter is rearranged perfectly, and the original is erased. You vanish here and reappear there. Same face, same voice, same heartbeat, even the same scar on your knee from when you were 7. The person who walks out of the destination chamber says, I remember everything. It's still me. But is it? Is it really you? That's the question that haunts every physicist, philosopher, and futurist. This is called the teletransportation paradox. It asks one terrifying thing. If your body is destroyed and a perfect version appears elsewhere, is that new person actually you? Or are you dead? Because if the original is gone and the new version is just a copy, Then teleportation isn't transportation, it's murder, followed by cloning. And it only gets darker. What if the machine doesn't destroy the original? What if something goes wrong? What if the transporter creates a second you, but the first one stays alive? Now there are two of you, identical. Same memories, same voice, same identity. Which one is the real you? Imagine waking up one day to see yourself, your exact face, walking, breathing, speaking in your voice, looking you in the eye and saying, "I'm you, and I belong here." Now imagine the government decides only one of you can remain. They order one to be deleted. How do they choose? And even worse, what if they leave it up to you? The room is silent. Two figures stand facing each other. One is you, the other is you, and one of you must vanish. Welcome to the ethics of teleportation. This isn't just a science question, it's a philosophical minefield. Let's go deeper. The ancient ship of Theseus is a thought experiment. If a ship has every plank replaced, one by one, over time, is it still the same ship? Now apply that to your body. Your cells replace themselves constantly. Your atoms shift and move. Are you the same person you were 10 years ago? What about after teleportation? If every atom in your body is recreated somewhere else, perfectly, but your original atoms are gone, are you still you? Is your consciousness something that can survive the jump? Or is it tied to the original atoms, never transferable? Right now, no one knows. Scientists don't fully understand consciousness. We don't know where it lives. We don't even know if it's a thing or an emergent property of a complex system. So if the system is rebuilt perfectly, would the consciousness rebuild too? Or would it die and a new one take its place? Thinking it's you, believing it's always been you, but wrong. That's the nightmare. What if teleportation works, but it kills the original you and replaces you with a perfect stranger who doesn't even know they're not real? Would you ever step into that machine? Would you trust it with your soul? Here's a quote from a modern philosopher. In a world of teleportation, death becomes optional, but identity may be the price. We are walking the edge of godhood. To teleport is to rewrite the rules of nature, to become something beyond human. We already have the prototype. In China, scientists have teleported quantum states from Earth to a satellite in orbit, 500 kilometers away. Not atoms, not objects, but information, entangled, instantaneous, unbreakable. In labs, researchers have successfully teleported the quantum states of photons and even small particles from one place to another. And just recently, biological material was entangled, simple cells, tiny organisms. They were broken down into patterns and rebuilt elsewhere, the first living things to take the leap. And they survived. No pain, no confusion, just data transformed into life. But humans? That's another scale entirely. The scan alone would generate billions of terabytes of data. To rebuild you atom by atom, the machine must manipulate 10 to the power of 28 particles with perfect accuracy. That's a number so large it's hard to comprehend. And yet, we're getting closer. Artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, quantum computing, all racing forward. Sooner than you think, a company will build it. They will promise safety. They will promise continuity. They will promise you, and you will face the chamber. Steel, cold, unforgiving. A glowing panel reads, "Teleportation ready. Proceed." You think about the stars, about living light years away, about escaping death. And you wonder, what's the cost? Not in money, not in time, but in identity. Because this machine, it does not move you, it recreates you, like a god. And you will never know if the thing that steps out the other side is truly you, or just a memory trapped inside a beautiful lie. This is no longer fiction. The God paradox is here. Would you step in? It's not the machine that's failing us. It's the universe itself. The blueprint to teleport a human already exists, in theory. But theory is clean. The real world is anything but. First, energy. To recreate a single human atom by atom, you would need more energy than what's produced by entire nations. Not a few nuclear reactors, not a supercomputer. We're talking planetary scale output, just to make one leap. The deeper we go, the clearer it becomes. Teleportation isn't just about engineering, it's about redefining the boundaries of power. Even if we solve the scanning, even if we master data transfer, we hit a wall made not of steel, but of physics. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It whispers a cruel truth. We can't ever know both the position and momentum of a particle with absolute precision. Try to measure one and the other blurs. It's not a technology problem. It's reality pushing back. Imagine trying to capture a song in a single frozen note. You'll always miss the melody. Quantum teleportation relies on perfect information, but the moment we observe something, we change it. The universe guards its secrets and we're trying to steal them. Then comes the fragility. Quantum states are like soap bubbles, delicate, beautiful, gone in an instant. This is called quantum decoherence. It means any interaction with the outside world, light, heat, sound, can collapse the quantum state instantly. Think about it. To teleport even a molecule, you need to keep it completely isolated from everything. No noise, no vibration, no disturbance. Long enough to complete the entanglement and transmission. Now imagine doing that for every atom in a human body. For every strand of DNA, every neuron mid-thought. It's like trying to carry a snowflake across a desert without it melting. But here's where it gets strange. We're doing it anyway. In laboratories across the globe, scientists are now entangling not just particles, but entire molecules. Complex structures, proteins, chains of atoms that behave like miniature systems. The impossible is cracking. Even memory itself, the state of matter inside a quantum system, is now being teleported. Not the object, not the shell, but the essence of its structure. Think about that. We're not just moving matter, we're moving meaning. The first hints of a future where physical location becomes irrelevant, and that future is already bleeding into our networks. Quantum internet, the next evolution of communication, has begun. In Austria, the Netherlands, and China, researchers are testing quantum networks where information isn't just sent, it's entangled across continents. No cables, no delay, just pure instantaneous exchange. In 2023, quantum data was teleported across 300 miles of fiber network with zero data loss. No signal degradation, no interference. The implications? Hospitals could share brain scans across the globe in real time. Financial systems could become unhackable. AI could operate in quantum-synced minds. And that's just the beginning. Because if teleportation becomes reliable, not for people but for thought, for consciousness, then the entire structure of humanity will shatter. Distance will die. So will borders. So will the concept of being here or there. There will only be now, everywhere. It starts with molecules, then memories, then minds. And when teleportation meets quantum computing, the results will be beyond anything we can predict. These aren't ordinary computers. They think in probabilities. They solve problems by existing in every possible solution at once, until the right one collapses into reality. When these machines become stable enough to map human consciousness, and when teleportation lets us move that data freely, we will become liquid, no longer chained to a body, no longer limited by time or space. You could wake up on Mars, go to sleep on Europa, live out a decade in a virtual simulation. then jump back into your old body as if nothing happened. But that dream, that beautiful, terrifying dream, comes with a darker thread. Because the more we push forward, the more we realize something chilling. There may be something else already out there, doing this. Advanced civilizations, millions of years ahead of us, may have long transcended the need for bodies, ships, or even planets. They may exist as information, riding the quantum foam of the universe, teleporting across galaxies as pure data. Invisible, untouchable, watching, and maybe, just maybe, they're waiting for us to cross the threshold, to prove we're ready, to become one of them, or worse, to accidentally open a door that should have remained closed, because teleportation isn't just movement, it's reconstruction. And if you can rebuild something perfectly, you can modify it. You could delete emotions, alter memories, change identity, or build something new from scratch. What begins as travel could become rewriting. The body, the mind, the soul. The line between who you are and who you're programmed to be would vanish. You could teleport into a version of yourself who never made the same choices, who never loved the same people, who remembers a past that never happened. Now multiply that by 1 billion, a species that no longer evolves naturally, but through teleportation updates, the end of humanity as we know it. And here's the most twisted part. Some scientists believe the entire universe may already be a form of teleportation, a holographic projection, a quantum simulation, a reality made not of things, but of information constantly moving and updating itself. If that's true, then we've already been teleported. We're just waking up to it now. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the fork in the road. Because teleportation will change the world, but it will also change us. It will force us to confront what it means to be alive, what it means to exist, to be one person in one place, in one moment. And then not. The machine will come, the networks will spread, the technology will advance. And then the question will be whispered, do you want to jump? Because the moment you do, you may never come back. At least, not as you. The world will tell you it's safe, that it's perfect, that the person who steps out on the other side is you. But how will you know? How will you ever truly know? The question is no longer, can we do it? It's, should we? Because the moment we make the leap, we become something else. No longer travelers, but gods. And gods once born cannot return to being human. Thank you for watching. If this video made you question reality, if it pulled you deeper into the unknown, then you're exactly who we're looking for. Subscribe to Uncharted Odyssey for more journeys beyond the veil of science, time, and existence. This is only the beginning, and the universe is waiting. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wandering, and never stop searching.